This episode is brought to you by Unstoppable. Discover the inspiring true story about Anthony Robles, who defied every expectation to become a national wrestling champion in Unstoppable, a new original movie from Amazon MGM Studios and director William Goldenberg, evoking the excitement and camaraderie of classic sports dramas and thrilling wrestling matches. Unstoppable features an all-star ensemble cast, including Jarrell Jerome, Jennifer Lopez, Don Cheadle, Michael Pena, and Bobby Cannavale. Watch Unstoppable now, exclusively on Amazon Prime Video.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. We're driven by the search for better, but when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/MBO. Terms and conditions apply.
Build a routine with Ollie that supports your wellness needs, like getting your daily vitamins and minerals with Ollie's multi-gummies, or keeping your mood upbeat with all the vitamin D in Hello Happy. Give your gut health some support with probiotics, and wake up feeling refreshed after taking Ollie Sleep. Do wellness on your terms. Find Ollie at a Walmart or Target near you or at ollie.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Bored with your boring cardio? Stop pedaling that snooze cycle to Nowheresville and try some cardio that's actually fun. Supernatural Fitness, available on MetaQuest. Isn't that right, Jane Fonda?
Cardio will never be boring again.
Sweat to the beat of thousands of chart-topping songs inside stunning virtual landscapes.
Bet your stationary bike can't do that.
Visit GetSupernatural.com and join the next fitness revolution. Supernatural VR Fitness, only on MetaQuest. Rated Teen for Teen.
So good, so good, so good.
Amazing deals on activewear for all the ways you move are at Nordstrom Rack stores now.
How did I not know Rack has Adidas?
I love these new Nikes.
I always score at Rack.
Stock up on new gear from the best brands in the game, starting at just $40. Great brands, great prices. That's why you Rack.
All the Eagles do is just win. And they're 2 wins away from their second Super Bowl championship. Guys, this is the Eagles Checkdown right here on the Eagles Pinpool Podcast Network, the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is, covering news, notes, and opinions on your Philadelphia Eagles. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, found on all social media platforms, including Twitter or TikTok, because TikTok's back quicker than it left. Find me at Beard A Knowledge on all social media platforms, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. I greatly appreciate a follow, guys, and hosting Trending in the AM every Monday through Friday on the STT Sports Network, linked below. Shoot me a subscribe on that as well, guys. It is Tuesday morning. It is the 21st of January, and we are still recapping and getting ready to move on from our big divisional win against the Rams and starting to look forward to the championship game, the NFC championship game against the Washington Commanders, which the Eagles opened as a 4.5-point favorite in that game. And I want to cover a few different random topics about the Eagles and how historic this season has been and how big a deal this team is right now and where the narrative is completely wrong, excuse me, with this team. Constantly talking about the negative of Jalen Hurts, but not talking enough about what this team is doing. And while Jalen Hurts is getting all the attention for only throwing for 128 yards, despite also rushing for 70, which we'll throw that out the window, despite the fact that his numbers are equal to or better this weekend than Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Everybody just wants to talk about the 15 for 20 and the 128 yards and completely ignoring the fact that Saquon Barkley rushed for over 205 yards, that Jalen Hurts rushed for 70. The fact that Saquon Barkley in 2 playoff games is already the 6th most rushing yards in Eagles history in the playoffs. He has got a chance with less than about 260 yards away from breaking Brian Westbrook's record for most rushing yards. They're ignoring the fact that Devontae Smith yet on Sunday set the Eagles' all-time receiving record in the playoffs for the Philadelphia Eagles. This offensive line has been amazing. We've seen the emergence of Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Zach Ball, Quinion Mitchell, all these guys on defense. But because of Jalen Hurts' numbers, according to every supposed tout out there that this team just can't win. They're not going to be able to win. They're not going to be able to sustain it. Well, let's think about it. They've sustained it this year. 14-3 regular season, 2-0 in the playoffs. That's 16 wins out of their last 19. This has been a complete and total proof of the team mentality, of the next man up, everything. Nick Sirianni spoke on Monday and made sure to give a glowing, and I don't know if I'm saying his name right, the VP of equipment operations, Greg Delamitros, and how much detail he put into giving the Eagles the best opportunity to succeed in Snowball 2.0. I mean, when we're shouting out the VP of equipment operations, I got other names I want to shout out as well in a few moments, but Greg, let me try to say this again, Delamitros, Delimitros, takes care of everyone. Made sure everyone had the right cleats, the right material, the right clothing, everything to keep them warm and with their footing. And that is just what this Eagles team is. I want to give out two more shout outs. We've done a lot throughout this year trying to make sure we highlight the assistant coaches, not just Fangio and Moore and Sirianni, the assistant coaches. And I want to shout out two people because we've seen a massive improvement from Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt and Jalix Hunt. I wanted the names. Moro Jomo in this year. And I want to shout out two assistant coaches today. Clint Hurt, the defensive line coach, and Jeremiah Washburn, the outside linebacker defensive end coach. Okay. Clint Hurt, he was in Seattle for about 5-6 years, 2 years as defensive coordinator, the rest of the time in the same position. And Washburn's went with the Philadelphia Eagles for 6 years, the last 3 in his current position. I don't know if enough attention goes to, we knew Jalen Carter was going to be a freak athlete, but he has literally, like he said before the season started, wanting to grow into the leader of this defense. He is doing that. Nick Sirianni talked about his football IQ and his instincts being so great and how important they are. Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter working together tirelessly on their chemistry. So when stunts, etc., are ran, they know exactly where each other are. Moro Jomo and Jalix Hunt being rookies in this system. Jalix Hunt getting his first playoff sack and Moro Jomo getting his first sack period on Sunday. And the work they've done. Bryce Huff did not play one snap. He was your big free agent defensive acquisition in the offseason. Did not play one snap on Sunday. Not because he can't do it, which that's questionable whether he can or can't. But he did not play because of the group that they played was playing so well. They didn't want to take them off the field for Bryce Huff. And I want to give credit to Washburn and Clint Hurt for the work they've done coaching up this extremely young defensive line. When you've got Brandon Graham, who's out for the year, your heartbeat of the defense goes down with the season-ending injury, and Josh Sweat is your next oldest guy on the defense who's on a 1-year prove-it deal, and you've got a bunch of rookies and second-year players straight dominating the assistant coaches. That's how that happens. That's where that comes from. Nolan Smith in the 2 playoff games, 11 pressures, 3 sacks. That doesn't happen by accident. So Bryce Huff, sorry, unfortunately, Nolan Smith's the man. You ain't going to get time when that's going on, when that kind of performance is happening on a regular basis. I do want to make one other NFL note. Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions, signed to be the head coach of the Chicago Bears on Monday. And I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I would not want the Chicago Bears coaching job. I am not a Caleb Williams fan. I do not think he is what it takes mentally to make a great quarterback in the NFL, but good luck to Ben Johnson. That's unfortunate for Detroit Lions losing their offensive coordinator. He's going to see things aren't always as rosy as it was. But anyway, a couple other things from Nick Sirianni's presser on Sunday. He was really trying to downplay all the negative talk about the passing game because reiterating people that they can win any way necessary. He was asked about A.J. Brown's knee and concerns about the lack of explosive plays in the passing game. He's like, we've shown we can win with the big plays in the past. Now we're showing that we're a big running team. We could do it both ways. He also reiterated because he had no information or new information on Jalen Hurts' knee or Quinny Mitchell's shoulder. We'll learn more about that, I would expect, Wednesday during practice. So for the Thursday show here on the Eagles Pinball Podcast Network. But he reiterated that Kenny Pickett is quarterback 2. I know there's a lot of people that the McKeisters out there want to see Tanner McKee be quarterback too, or God forbid something happens and Jalen Hurts can't start on Sunday against the Commanders, would want Tanner McKee starting. No, Kenny Pickett's the guy, as I told you, and as I told everybody, the right decision there as well. So we move on. We start the process of thinking what it's going to be. Oh, real quick, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown blocks on the big Saquon Barkley runs. That was shouted out by Nick Sirianni big time and multiple times throughout his press conference on Monday. Anyway, we got lots to dive into this week as we get set for the Commanders, as we get set for the NFC Championship game. The weather looks like it's going to be much better, thank goodness, because I hate the weather. And it's going to be a hard-fought battle. And I'm going to end this episode with one thing. There's no way, shape, or form that the Philadelphia Eagles can allow Josh Harris to hoist the NFC Championship trophy at Lincoln Financial Field. As a disgruntled Sixers fan, we cannot let the owner of the Sixers host the trophy for the Washington Commanders on our field. Do not let it happen, Eagles. Don't let it happen. This is the Eagles Pin Pull Podcast Network. This is the Eagles Checkdown. I am Phil Stiefel. Check me out on the STT Sports Network all week. Guys, go Birds. And bubbles up.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Sergeant and Mr. Smith, you're gonna love this house.
Bunk beds in a closet?
There's no field manual for finding the right home. But when you do, USAA Homeowners Insurance can help protect it the right way. Restrictions apply.
Bored with your boring cardio? Stop pedaling that snooze cycle to Nowheresville and try some cardio that's actually fun. Supernatural Fitness, available on MetaQuest. Isn't that right, Jane Fonda?
Cardio will never be boring again.
Sweat to the beat of thousands of chart-topping songs inside stunning virtual landscapes.
Bet your stationary bike can't do that.
Visit GetSupernatural.com and join the next fitness revolution. Supernatural VR Fitness, only on MetaQuest. Rated T for Teen.